or corrects it. Yeah.
The worst part of the whole thing is because we don't have any real media coverage in this country, we really just don't know for a fact what's actually gone on down there.
That's right. That's right. It's all just a crapshoot, which is why it's so important that we have these types of forums, folks, so that we can get these words. It's really the debate. You know, the debate stirs curiosity, and the curiosity makes people search. And when they search, they tend to find out things that maybe haven't been there before or are in the light. But the lines are lighting up, Griff, so I'm gonna keep going to these phone calls. Next caller, area code 732. You are live on the show.
Hey, what's up? I have a question about the weather manipulation in the Gulf, and I wonder if everyone could sort of speak to their knowledge of what's the level of sophistication. I mean, when a storm comes in, is it a guarantee they can really direct it, or are they really struggling each time a storm comes in? And if so, is there a particular event they're waiting for when they're just going to let a storm hit? If you could all speak to that question. Thank you.
Griff, go ahead and take that question. That's right up your alley.
I think the American military has developed certain expertise in negating those storms. I believe, from what I'm observing, they can take them out on a regular basis. Now, in the very beginning, there appeared to be with Katrina, for instance, there appeared to be a battle between Soviet. I've got to stop doing that. It's not Soviet anymore since the collapse. It is Russia.
You can't say Japs anymore.
My brain is hardwired to say that each time. It appeared to be a battle between Russian scalar and American scalar. You could see the route, the trail of Katrina turning at right angles and making loops and so on. But I think they perfected it, and I think U.S. can take them out on a regular basis now. But again, every time they do that, they're cutting down on rainfall over the United States. So it's a price to pay for that.
Do you foresee a certain time when they're just like waiting for the storm, you know, when they're going to let one hit?
They can't let one hit because of the contaminated water in the Gulf, unless if it does happen, you're going to increase your infection, the infectious rate and death across the United States, because that water is going to be mixed and brought all the way up into the United States, you see.
Yeah, I think it's really it's hard to say. You know, when you think about it, yeah, they could drive a storm right down our throat, and I think Katrina proved that too, because Katrina was, I believe, a dry run for what we're seeing now, especially in the realm of what they could do and how far they could steer things and the type of devastation that they can enact. So I do believe they have the capability. Now, what their plan is, God only knows what their plan is, and that's why it's so important that we prepare, so vigilantly and expeditiously at this point. John, you have a comment? Okay, John. Very good. I'm going to go to the next caller.
I'm here.
Area code 832. Go ahead.
Is that me?
That's you.
Okay, great. This is Lily Baby on YouTube. I need to ask AC about the Federal Reserve. I was watching Matt Kaiser yesterday on YouTube, and they were saying that our Federal Reserve belongs to England, that England owns it. Is that true?
Well, it just depends. I don't necessarily believe that, but they're probably connecting the people back to the Queen. I know that was a very popular thing to do for a long time, but it doesn't matter. You see, the only thing that matters right now is protect yourself and your family, because it's totally out of control. You're not going to resolve the financial problems. There's no way. It is collapsing deliberately. It doesn't have to collapse. You see, all of the money in the world is not backed by anything. It's just paper. So if the powers in the world wanted to stop it, they could do it with a stroke of the pencil. Just take off 3 zeros on all the numbers, and you have a working monetary system. There would be no fuss, no muss. Just do it with a pencil, and you could redo it. But that's not going to happen. It is going to collapse, and woe be unto us when the money goes down.
I feel like it's going to collapse too. And there's another question. Do you have an opinion on Lyndon LaRouche?
He talks too much.
He does that.
I am inclined to agree with a lot of what he says, but his delivery makes him a little uncomfortable. Yeah.
Yes, my husband said he would be worse than Obama if he came into office because he's too arrogant. He's too sure of himself. That's what he tells.
I agree. Yes.
You know something, Griff, too, with LaRouche. I don't know about you, but I mean that guy. He lives, breathes, and dies Franklin D. Roosevelt. He absolutely thinks Franklin D. Roosevelt was the savior of this country, and he could do no wrong. And I just have a rub. I have a rub with that.
That's what my husband says.
Yes.
Anybody that would marry Mrs. Roosevelt has a problem. You know, Eleanor was a lesbian woman, and she entertained her girls at another house while Franklin was concerned about Pearl Harbor. Anyway.
That's true. Well, thank you very much for taking my call.
Thank you.
Oh, no sweat, and thank you for calling.
All right.
John, now, I know you got something to say, so go ahead.
Yes, thank you. Sorry for the audio problems there earlier, guys. For those of you that find a lot of what we're talking about just way out there and fantastic, you need to do a little bit of research. Yes, we do have weapons that can control the weather and manipulate the weather. Yes, we do have high-energy weapons. Yes, there was an oil spill in the Kalamazoo River, and it was headed towards Lake Michigan. Why did you not hear about this? Well, that's because your mainstream media is controlled. You're not meant to hear about all this, so you have to go actively seek it out yourself. That is why you're here today, to listen to what exactly is going on, because it's people like us that are doing these shows that are doing the media's job. And with that said, Griff, Russia is experiencing a devastating heat wave right now. Can you tell us, in your opinion, is that weather manipulation?
It could be. It could be. We have no way of knowing.
There really is no way of knowing, John. That's the problem. And the thing is when they do this, it does have serious side effects somewhere else. You know, it's like Griff said, they make it rain somewhere else. There's going to be drought in another place. It's not so good. And I mean, look at our situation, Griff. I mean, we just went through one of the longest heat spells that we've ever had, 56 days, I think it was, of consistent high 90s or above. I mean, that's crazy. Mm-hmm. So you got to think something's kind of pokey there.
In my survival paraphernalia, I bought 3 extra air conditioners in the box.
That's always good. Can never have enough of those, right?
No. The best I found was Haier, was the name of it, made in China. They're the largest refrigeration company in the world. Make a good product, and Walmart $98 for a 5,000 BTU. So that was a real deal.
That's good. I'm going to keep going to the lines here. Area code 803, you're live on the show. Go ahead.
Hello, folks. It's nice talking to you. I've been a big fan of Patriot Calls for quite some time. When I was a kid, to give you a little background on my question, I got exposed to a lot of surfactant working on a farm for a couple of summers. As a result, I developed psoriasis and then folliculitis. I think as a result. I'm 40 years old. I haven't worked in almost a year now. I got to the point where I had no energy and I could not go on. And the doctor's been asking me to get on disability now for 5 years. I could have got on it 20 years ago. But the oil spill brought up core exit 9500 and 95278. And as I did my research, I discovered that it was a surfactant. It's listed as a surfactant. And the question